How is it going? I hope everyone is doing well, and thank you for tuning to this video. Today I'm here with my 7th installment of my WCW nWo 1998 pay-per-view rewind. Today I'm here with my review of the July pay-per-view Bash at the Beach. Without wasting any more time, I'm going to jump right into things. Of course, the show opened up with the Raven's Rules match between Raven and Saturn. This match was a fine opener. Nothing to complain about. It had a good amount of, hardcore action, which is pretty much what you expect in any kind of Raven's Rules match. It kind of had that pretty much same level of action, just, random spots, garbage can stuff, just random stuff going all around. Match spilled to the outside, which at one point Saturn set up Raven on a table and then put a table on top of that one with Raven in between, which, in theory, it sounds like a good idea, but when it actually plays out, it's pretty stupid, because then you realize in order to put the opponent through the one table, you have to put yourself through the top table. So it really makes no fucking sense to do that spot, but Saturn went for that, but when he went for that, Konnan all of a sudden appeared out of nowhere, pulls Raven out, so Saturn just goes through both tables. Konnan throws Raven back in the ring and then hits a flatliner on Raven onto a chair and then just bolts. So Konnan just decided to fucking interfere for whatever reason. I mean, I understand why, obviously, but just like he decided to fuck with both of them and just bail. So Konnan dips and then Raven gets a near fall on Saturn. They go at it for a bit more. Saturn has his comeback. Lodi gets involved, so does Riggs, but then Raven gets the upper hand, hits the even flow DDT, 1, 2, 3, defeats Saturn. Fine opener, nothing spectacular, but, it served its purpose. It was, like I said, it was fine. Juventud Guerrera taking on Kidman. This was actually a lot of fun, and I'd say this match was probably match of the night. This was a complete spot fest, I'll say that, but you know what? It was a hell of a lot of fun. The match was all over the place. Kidman was really impressive here. This was his pay-per-view match debut, and he definitely went out there and had a memorable one with Juventud. He was doing some memorable spots. I love the story that, even though Kidman was doing some impressive stuff, Juventud was just, outsmarting him and was able to counter what he was able to do. So I thought that was great storytelling. One of my favorite spots as well was Kidman hitting a spine buster from the second rope. I thought that was an awesome spot. But yeah, overall, really fun competitive match between Kidman and Juventud Guerrera. Kidman missed the shooting star, which was followed up with a 450 from Juventud for the win. So Juventud Guerrera defeats Kidman. Really good match. Like I said, match of the night overall. So if you wanted to, you can probably turn the show off at this point because it's just all downhill from there. But yeah, great stuff. Stevie Ray taking on Chavo Guerrero Jr. Of course, stipulation was Chavo had to face Stevie Ray first in order to get to Eddie in their hair versus hair match. So Chavo, being the psychopath that he is, the bell rings. He goes to shake, Stevie Ray's hand. Stevie Ray goes to shake his hand, and as Stevie Ray grips his hand, Chavo submits as if he was put him in submission hold. So the referee rings his bell. So Chavo, even though the psychopath, he outsmarted Eddie. So yeah, just a segment, nothing else. Stevie Ray is like, whatever, I don't fucking care. Walks away, and Eddie has to now face Chavo in the hair versus hair match. And this match was pretty disappointing. The match that had the American Bash was good. This match is probably just a notch down compared to that one. I just felt like there was too much comedy from the get-go. About half the match was just them playing to the crowd, which is nothing wrong with that, but it just felt like a total house show match. Chavo biting Eddie in the ass, chasing him around, and Eddie trying to get the referee to get him to stop. It was total crowd playing for the first half of the match, and like I said, it's fine for like house show stuff and if you're there live, but it just does not translate well onto TV. So it wasn't working, but then the match started to progress, and they were just, pretty much countering each other. At one point, Chavo hit a frog splash, Eddie hit the tornado DDT, so they're kind of just, one-upping each other. Then eventually, at the end, Chavo went for the tornado DDT, hit it. Eddie's got a foot on the rope, so Chavo got the win. Finish came with Eddie going for the scissors. He grabbed the scissors because he went to cut Chavo's hair, but the referee prevented him from doing that. Chavo had his comeback, but then attempted the same exact thing Eddie did. Went to grab the scissors to cut Eddie's hair. The referee's telling him not to do it, don't do it. And as he's doing that, Eddie rolled him up. 1, 2, 3, and Eddie defeated Chavo. And then Chavo just ended up shaving his head on his own. So, like I said, the match was just pretty much a notch down from their Great American Bash match. But, nothing too spectacular about it. Just, it was fine. Nothing more about it. Then we go to a bonus added match, which was Konnan taking on Disco Inferno. Just a squash match for Konnan, but Konnan can't even win a proper squash match properly because Alex Wright, of course, got involved. Luger took him out. Referees get involved with that, and as it's happening, Nash hits a big boot to a Disco Inferno, jackknife, and then, of course, Konnan got the victory after that. So, even in a squash match, Konnan needed interference to win. So, I don't know. That's WCW booking for you. But I will say, Kevin Nash was wearing a fit. Him and his basketball attire was a fit. So, for that alone, this match is worth seeing. But besides that, yeah, nothing to it at all. Next, we had the Giant taking on Kevin Greene. This match was originally supposed to be the Giant and Curt Hennig taking on Kevin Greene and Goldberg. But, of course, Goldberg won the WCW World title the Nitro before this show. So they decided to give Goldberg a big title defense against Curt Hennig instead on the show and separate the tag team match into singles. And so that's what we got in the show. This match isn't as bad as you would think. Kevin Greene wasn't terrible. You know, he was better than Mongo, I'll tell you that. But, you know, he had a very basic formula. They're kind of playing the what you can do, I can do better type deal. Whatever Giant did, Kevin Greene did it, but better. That's kind of what they played into it. Giant ended up getting the victory at the end and Kevin Greene, so... yeah, not much to the match. It was fine, though. It was watchable. I'll say that. It was watchable. Jericho comes out. He was supposed to defend the Cruiserweight title in an ODQ match against Dean Malenko, but because Dean Malenko got suspended, he no longer had to defend it. J.J. Dillon came out and said he had to, but Jericho said he'd defend it only if it's still an ODQ and that it was against somebody local that hasn't wrestled in 6 months. The show is in San Diego, California, and know who's been injured the past 6 months? The person has accepted it. Rey Mysterio Jr. So Rey Mysterio Jr. comes out. Him and Jericho has an ODQ match, and the match is fine. It was, you know, it was short. It was only like 6 minutes for whatever reason, but they brawled up into the stage. The cool spot of the match was Mysterio hitting a Hurricanrana off of the lifeguard tower, so that was pretty cool on Jericho. But, you know, the action spurs back in the ring. Jericho's working over Mysterio, has upper hand, working on his left knee. And then out of the blue, you know, Dean Malenko comes running, not running down, but walking on the ramp. Jericho's distracted. Mysterio uses the opportunity to counter the Lion Tamer into a roll-up. 1, 2, 3. Rey Mysterio is your brand new WCW Cruiserweight champion. Feel a good moment. You know, Mysterio's return, and he wins the championship in his hometown. So, and the match itself was whatever. It wasn't, like I said, it was only 6 minutes, so they didn't really get any time to really do anything. So, you know, it was about as good as it could have been in that time period. But Mysterio winning was a good moment. But again, in WCW fashion, it would not matter because the next night he would have to give the title back to Jericho, so it wouldn't really matter. But, you know, it was fine, and it was a nice moment for what it was. WCW World Television Championship being defended. Booker T taking on Bret Hitman Hart, which you would think on paper would sound awesome. This is their first time ever match, but this is WCW, and Bret Hart does not give a flying shit. I mean, the match is fine. It isn't bad or anything, but... you know, Bret's just working over Booker, and that's all he pretty much does during the entire match is work over Booker and work over him. That's all he does in this match. Booker T has his brief comebacks. Bret gets on the outside. Booker T goes through the ropes, and Bret decides to clock him with a chair. And the referee makes a decision to ring the bell for DQ. So not very often do you see a referee actually disqualify someone when they should be disqualified. But Bret gets DQ. The match, just like I said, was fine. He beats down Booker afterwards. He's beating on the knee of Booker, working on it. He locks in the figure 4 in the ring post. Stevie Ray comes out and just pretty much stares at Bret, and Bret just walks away. And that's pretty much that. Of course, you know, that was kind of the beginning point of Stevie Ray joining into the Wolfpack. But, you know, we'll get into that later on into the upcoming pay-per-view events. But, like I said, fine match. Just, you know, Bret didn't give a shit and just showed. And, you know, Booker T was pretty much saw him for pretty much the majority of the match. So, you know, they really weren't getting the opportunity to do much. WCW World Championship match. Goldberg defending against Curt Hennig. This match was a squash match, but you know what? It was the first time Goldberg really got manhandled. You know, Mr. Perfect or Curt Hennig, I should say, worked on Goldberg's knee. He actually took him down at one point and hit the perfect plex for 1 count. But you know what? Ended up hitting it. So that was a huge surprise to see Curt Hennig actually, you know, kind of get the upper hand on Goldberg. But Goldberg, all it took was one spear, one jackhammer, 1, 2, 3. Goldberg retains the championship. Like I said, it's just a squash match, but for what it was fine. It was better than the previous Goldberg squashes from the last couple pay-per-views. So I'll say that. So, you know, a fine first title defense for Goldberg. And then we go to the main event, one of the worst matches in history, Hollywood Hogan and Dennis Rodman taking on Diamond Dallas Page and Karl Malone. Okay, I'll say this. Every match in the card got very little time. Each match got about, I want to say, 6 to 8 minutes average. Maybe a match or two got like 10 minutes. They all got short time for this main event. This main event got so much time, and they did absolutely nothing. This is a terrible match. It went on like 25 minutes, probably 40 minutes, including entrances and everything else, you know, pre- and post-match stuff. I don't get it. I mean, obviously, this match popped a huge buy rate for WCW at that time. So I understand why, obviously, but man, this match is just, skip it. Don't ever sit through this match. It's terrible. It's not good. I mean, Dennis Rodman and Karl Malone look decent at times. Like, Dennis Rodman does some leapfrogs. But there's a spot with DDP where he just, like, collapses. And it just comes off absolutely terrible. It's not a good match. I don't need to explain it. It's not good by any means. Finish is terrible, too. DDP hits a diamond cutter on Hogan. Malone hits one on Rodman. Referee is trying to get Malone out of the ring as it's happening. The Cypher hits a stunner on Diamond Dallas Page. Throws Hollywood Hogan on top of DDP. Bails. Referee turns around. 1, 2, 3. Hollywood Hogan and Dennis Rodman are your winners of this match. Like I said, this match is pretty much a 25-minute waste of time. Do not watch it. Just skip it. Yeah, it's not good by any means. You know, like I said, Rodman and Malone had their moments where they looked all right. But for the long run, for the most part, they look like absolute shit. But what can you expect? You know, they were just in it for this match. You know, I wasn't expecting them to look fantastic, but you can just tell they didn't belong in a ring. And this was just a terrible main event to a terrible show. This whole pay-per-view overall sucked. Bash at the Beach. I don't know if I'd say this was worse than Slamboree. It's on that same level, but I don't know if I'd say it's worse than that show. But it was a pretty shitty pay-per-view overall. So, Bash at the Beach, just more bullshit booking from WCW here. Just more nonsensical bullshit. And the main event was just, you know, goes to show you how WCW was just going shit to the rails. They didn't give a shit about anything. They were just trying to pop ratings and you know, get buy rates, and nothing else mattered. That's all they cared about. And, you know, just, you can just tell the direction the company was heading in. That's all I can say. So, Bash to the Beach, shit show. Road Wild is next, and oh man, I know that show absolutely sucks. So, I can only imagine this show sucked and Slamboree sucked. I can only imagine how bad Road Wild is going to be. So, looking forward to that one. But even though the show sucked, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you guys did, please feel free to leave a like below. And of course, the next time, I'll see you guys then. Thank you guys for watching the video.